having a life scholarship and being able to afford to go to college made me feel inspired to go.
When I got a life scholarship, it was such a relief.
I knew that I wanted to have an impact. Having a life scholarship through the SC Education Lottery was huge. It gave me the opportunity to make that impact right here at home.
The South Carolina Education Lottery. A better you, a better us, a better South Carolina. Visit sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
Your morning blitz begins now.
It's a Thursday. It's another hot one. It's going to be 93 again today. Tell you what, yesterday didn't feel all that terrible. Went golfing yesterday afternoon. Like the first couple holes, the sun was out, and it was hot.
Yeah.
Then the clouds rolled in, and it actually was pretty nice yesterday.
Did you get rained on?
Yeah.
Literally 3 minutes after we finished the round and walked into the bar area, it started downpouring.
Wow. Perfect timing.
Perfect timing. Absolutely perfect timing.
And how'd you golf?
Best round of my year so far.
You keep doing that.
Yeah, it was an unbelievable round. I had a 55-yard shot that I thought I mishit, and it hit the side of a hill, shot sideways, right into the cup for a birdie.
What?
I had a putt on 9. It was like a 75-foot putt, and I went to line it up. And for the non-golfers, there's like there's little lines on the golf ball, and you aim it. It helps you, aim the ball where you want to putt. And I looked at it, and I was like, no. And so I switched it to the other side. Once I stepped back and took another look at the angle of the green, I was like, no, and I moved it over. Then I step up to putt, and I mishit it back to my original aim line, but it went in the cup anyways.
Wow.
Yeah, it was an unbelievable round.
You're headed to the PGA.
I don't know about all that. It's gonna be a weird day. I'm very off today because I didn't sleep the best. I was kind of roly-poly all night, and then my allergies are kicking in. Except today it's not sneezing and nose. Today it's eyes. So my eyes are all like red, dry, and itchy. I went to wake up and drink my water this morning, and I dropped the cup on the floor and it broke. Oh. So I had to clean that up. I get in my car. Guess I forgot I got gas. I needed gas. Had to stop to get gas. Then I got caught at the Trayview or Dublin Road and
Old Dublin Trayview.
Got caught at that light for 17 minutes. Just a very off morning. So we'll see how the rest of the day goes. How are you doing, Kelly?
I'm doing great. I feel like we can turn your day around. Starting now.
Let's do it. It's going to be a good one. We're going to make it a good one. Thick, how are you today?
I'm doing good, man. Not bad.
Are the plants watered properly?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, that's got to be done.
Don't want to ruin the crop.
No, that would be terrible.
Would be. Let's get going on a Thursday. We got Blitz morning trivia. Thick, you're ready over there? You're kind of...
I am. Okay. I was just looking for my sheet.
All right.
All right, $25 up for grabs to waterbeds and stuff to the first person to text in the correct answer at 800-821-9970. If you didn't know, that is our new text line, same as the request line. The old text line is dead. All right, this person has been arrested for threatening Joe Rogan. This is a social media influencer, kind of online celebrity.
So stupid.
You saw this?
Yes.
Yeah. So who is the influencer that has been arrested for threatening Joe Rogan? Be the first to tell us at 800-821-9970. Text in the answer. And if you're first, we will hook you up with that gift card.
What's the answer to Blitz morning trivia, Thick?
All right, the question was, what influencer was just arrested for threatening Joe Rogan? His name is Brian Johnson, but everybody knows him as the Liver King. And this guy, man, I used to be so impressed with this guy, but, he was always the guy who claimed no steroids.
Right.
Never did any steroids. He has, the most amazing muscles, but never did. And then it came out that
his big thing was he used to eat raw liver and raw meat.
Yeah. And so apparently, Joe Rogan, he blames Joe Rogan for his supplement empire's downfall after Joe addressed his steroid scandal in 2022. And so he made some threats. He was brandishing 2 gold-plated guns, making these statements online about Rogan. The day before he was arrested, he actually challenged Rogan to a fist fight, which is hilarious. And so, police have arrested him, and He was at the Four Seasons Hotel in Austin, where they found him and arrested him. And he was charged with creating fear of imminent serious bodily injury.
He already had like a restraining order put against him by Joe Rogan. Who cares?
I know. It's hilarious. The people that become famous, whether it's for good reasons or bad.
Right.
But Cowboy Dan in Marysville, first one to text in the correct answer, he scores $25 to waterbeds and stuff.
Speaking of Raw, this won't be new to me because this has been going on since, we've kind of combined families and I've lived with the boys. But if your kids come into the kitchen while you're cooking and start grabbing raw onions and just chowing down, just know they're doing it for a TikTok trend. That apparently is the new TikTok trend, is eating raw onions. However, the 13-year-old has done it for... He'll come in and just chuck onions in his mouth.
Raw
onion.
I eat a raw onion on a burger, but just not by itself.
Straight up by itself. Here's the deal. People are saying that it's the new hot thing to do, just biting into them like an apple. Or they'll take slices and do things like a little olive oil, salt and pepper, everything bagel seasoning. Like, I don't know why all of a sudden this has become a thing, but just know, if you're in there cooking and the kids come in...
I'll do that with a potato, peel it and eat it raw.
No, you got some salt, right?
Yeah, salt.
Will you eat the whole thing?
Not the whole thing, like pieces.
Yeah, I'll do maybe a chunk.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember doing that. Yeah.
But that's not an onion.
So the onion's better than Tide Pods.
That is better than Tide Pods.
Yeah.
I used to take little pinches of raw meat if I was making hamburger.
Ugh.
Yeah.
The ground beef.
My friend's mom used to do that. She would put salt on it and eat it raw.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Looking back at it, I don't know. I have no clue.
Oh, okay.
I remember doing it as a kid. And I don't know why my mom would let me do it. And I don't know how I started doing it. Just did.
Now, my vet recommended I give a rolled up ball of raw meat to my dog once in a while.
I could see that.
So it's really good for him.
Yeah. But, oh, man, why did I do that? Bad choices.
You might have been, maybe you were deficient in something, and it just, like, you were craving it.
Is that craving raw meat? Am I a zombie? What? Why?
I don't know.
Raw meat?
I don't know. Your body knows what it wants, and sometimes it craves weird things. Like, people who have those deficiencies and they start licking walls, like licking paint.
Yes.
It's called pica. It's because you have, like, some vitamin or iron, some type of deficiency.
And it makes you want to lick walls?
People will eat dirt.
I remember the woman that was eating the stuffing out of
the stuffing out of the couch. Yeah.
I don't know what you're deficient in with that, but...
Well, thankfully I haven't done it in a long, long time, and I do not plan to do so ever again.
You don't even know why you did it.
No clue.
Just,
let
me try this.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you like it?
I remember, it would be a couple pinches, so obviously there was something there.
No, my sisters and I used to eat milk bone every now and again.
The dog treat?
Yep.
I've done that on the radio. I never did it like...
It just tastes like cardboard.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just got no taste to it whatsoever. It's just dry and brittle.
Yeah,
absolutely.
All right.
Well, anyways, watch for your kids eating raw onions. It's a TikTok trend. 99.7 The Blitz.
Not so breaking news. The news already broke. We're trying to put it back together.
All right, let's start with a WTF. What the Florida? WEAR News down in Pace, Florida, reported about the rearrest of Pace Pharmacy owners Stephen Burklow and his 58-year-old wife Monica Burklow and their 22-year-old daughter Laken Burko because they were part of a drug smuggling ring. I'm still trying to figure out all the details of the story, but basically they were arrested. They own a pharmacy, yet they were running a pharmacy out of their house as well. And not only that, this was a rearrest because they were just arrested back on May 14th for drug charges. So it only took about a month for them to get back up and running, and they had notepads, prescription pads from doctors all around the area writing their own prescriptions from, I'm looking at a list of 36 doctors and their pads to write prescriptions. And I'm looking at the amoxicillin, ivermectin, metoclopramide, diazepam, phenazovirididan. The list goes on and on and on. They were running basically a side pharmacy out of their home. Why you would do this when you own your own pharmacy, I'm not really certain. But it is Florida, so I guess it kind of makes sense.
Right, under the table money.
Under the table money, yeah. Like you're ordering the drugs to the pharmacy, but then prescribing them to yourself from the doctor's notepads, but then taking the pills home and reselling them.
Yeah.
At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Ranked #1 in innovation for 10 consecutive years, and #2 among public universities for employability. ASU isn't just ahead of the curve. It's creating new paths to success. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/ARTS. Just go to Indeed.com/ARTS right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
I would have to assume that's what it is. Our second story takes us overseas to England, where an officer may lose his job after he approached a female coworker and said, "Pull my finger." She denied, but he wasn't going to let that stop his fun, so he jumped up, turned around, standing on his tippy toes, and farted in her face. And ran away laughing.
Pull my finger!
What is wrong with that guy?
I mean,
it happened back in 2021, and the disciplinary thing still hasn't been resolved. Now they are finally getting around to it. The review board says it qualifies as gross misconduct.
Wait, 4 years later, they're getting around to this?
4 years later, they're getting.
So she's gotten 4 more years of farts in the face?
Apparently so.
Oh my gosh. That is really weird and aggressive. Like, there's something, off. There's something off. I don't know if you should lose your job, but you should have to pay a little bit of a penalty. That's disgusting.
Do you get suspended for a while? Is that going to teach you your lesson?
Like a week's, you get dock a week's pay or something.
The other officers did give him the nickname Biplane.
Biplane?
Because he likes to crop dust people.
Yeah.
But I can't. Jumping up, turning around, and farting in someone's face. I don't know if you remember, but that's when I had my big mishap after dinner one night.
Yes.
When my friend farted in the car and locked the windows, and I decided I'm going to get him back. So he was sitting in the chair, and I ran up, jumped, and did the spin move, and pushed a little too hard. That did not end well.
Short city, baby.
It wasn't a short. It was
full on.
It was a full on. I had a unicorn in my pants. It was. It was.
See, that taught you a lesson, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Don't try and catch someone off guard and push, especially after hibachi.
Lord.
Yeah, it was not an ideal situation.
What?
The worst part was running down the hallway to get to the bathroom, and it hit the spin move down my leg as I was running down the hallway.
Now, let me ask you this, because that is gross.
Now that's really, man.
Ew.
Now there's a real mental picture.
And that froze Kelly mid-sentence. Just let me say, okay, wait, that was gross. Hold on.
I feel like I'm picturing it in cartoon form.
Right. Yes. Exactly what's happening. That's exactly what I did.
Yeah, put it hands up and went, whee! It was just moving along. Moving along. That is your not so breaking news. 99.7 The Blitz. I don't know how to feel about this because if you missed the previous break, it was a little childish. I get it. It was. We were talking about farts and poops.
It's not childish when an adult police officer
Yes.
farts in the face of another police officer.
No, I'm just saying that the follow-up conversation about
sharding,
my story and poop. Yeah.
No, it happens.
And we got a text from 8901, and I don't know how to feel about this because it makes me feel like my sense of humor and my brand of comedy is built for this because 8901 texted in and said my 8-year-old is dying laughing. Not as sure how that makes me feel. The sense of humor of an 8-year-old, but
hey, we're big with the 8 to 10 crowd. I feel like
right. Oh, huge, absolutely huge, without a doubt.
Chris says, "Keep it coming, Goose. I'm dying over here."
But I agree. You know, I would say childish for sure. I mean, it could go even younger than that. We could get down to the 3-year-olds because I'm also the type to just take all the clothes off because I don't feel like wearing clothes anymore.
Definitely do not do that in the workplace.
No, I wouldn't do that in the workplace. Okay. That would be a little weird.
A little?
Yeah. But at the lake house? I was naked man at the lake house for 15 years.
Wait, what?
Oh, yeah. Okay, we do like our midnight cruise. You just
like pontoon boat?
Just hanging out. Yeah. Oh, I'd be the first. Skinny dip time. Take off the clothes. Oh, yeah.
Like I remember in the house?
Oh, yeah.
They, in front of the guest. How many people are in the house?
I don't know, 10.
How much alcohol?
Wait a minute. You're just running around in front of everybody naked, like just dong out?
Just if the moment hit, if it was something funny. I remember one time everyone went to bed, and I sleep sans clothing. I sleep in my birthday suit, and so I go to bed. But then I heard some mumbling, and it turns out that my best friend Scott, who owns the lake house, and another friend were sitting on the patio out front. They didn't go to bed yet. They were chit-chatting, and there was a way to get out of the garage. And I walked up behind Scott. He didn't see me, and I just right on his shoulder, just plopped on the shoulder, and he looked over. And
your junk?
Oh yeah.
What?
He just looked over.
What are you talking about?
He was like, huh? He was like, huh? And I was like,
this is another reason I'm never vacationing with coworkers.
Well, I'm not either.
I gave it a clinch, so I just winked at him on the shoulder.
What the heck? Stop! What did he do? Did he punch you?
No. He looked at it and then looked away. Like
it was no big deal.
No effect whatsoever.
Did that bum you out?
No, not at all.
What?
I was probably there for a good 60 seconds, just listening to the conversation.
Just hanging it over his shoulder.
Yeah.
The whole everything, just all of it.
Well, it started with just the initial, right. But after he looked and didn't react, then it was the entire. Then it was like
all of it.
Yeah, you got to lift up.
Yeah, you
had to add the beans.
Had to rest up there. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
You've never done that to your friend?
No, I've never done that to any. I've never done that to my wife.
Well, I wouldn't expect you to do it. Well, all right.
Yeah, no.
I have done that to Nora, actually.
Yeah,
that's true.
These are jokes married people will do. Some married people.
That is very, very true.
People, but I haven't. But that's not a joke. I would maybe.
Valid question that Joe just texted in. What would be worse, Kelly? The coworker running up, turning around, and blasting one in your face, or me walking up behind you and blah on your
That's
shoulder?
Worse. 1,000% worse.
1,000% worse?
There's no question. I'll take a fart to the face every day.
Yeah.
Rather than have a coworker come up behind me naked.
Okay, what about a friend? What about a friend? Not a
or
coworker.
A friend. I don't want any strange dong over my shoulder.
But it's not a strange dong.
It is a strange dong if I've never seen it before that moment.
I think Kelly's going to call the police if you do that one.
That's strange. I do not want a strange dong on my shoulder, I think. Are you taking a strange dong or a fart to the face?
Yeah, I'll take the fart.
You take the fart?
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you? It sounds like you're going to take the dong.
Well, he seems very like he's just free with dong. So
I'm just saying it's not that big of a... Can we move on from this conversation,
yes, please?
Okay, great.
Let's do that.
Oh, Kelly, sorry, are we offending you over here?
Yes, Kelly kept asking questions. I tried to move on. forgot what I was going to talk about
Do we
here.
need a transition here? Or, I mean,
Do you have a song ready?
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break. All right. Let's reflect inward for a minute as parents. And I'm kind of curious, what parents out there are ready for their kids to go back to school?
Already?
Because you know there's a good handful of them.
This is what, the third day of summer?
Something like that, yeah.
You know, it's so funny, but it didn't occur to me because I didn't have children, so well into my adulthood, before I realized that it probably was a huge bummer for my parents when we all came home for summer vacation.
Right.
I always thought it was just such a joy for everybody to have us home.
Was it 5? 5 siblings total?
No, there are just 3 of us.
Oh, 3.
I have 2 younger
Okay.
sisters. Yeah.
All right, so 3. That's still quite a bit.
Now, my mom was always claimed that it was the joy of her life to have kids, and yes, she was fine, and she was a stay-at-home mom. But I can't imagine going from having an entire day free to having it filled with 3 demanding daughters.
Now, granted, I think, and I know this has been talked about a million times over, and we don't have to rehash it, but it's a little different because we did grow up in the time. I remember being kicked out of the house at like 9:30, and that's it. Go ride your bike.
Yeah, go outside and play.
See you later.
Yeah.
See you when the streetlights come on.
Yeah. And I was happy to oblige.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no problem with it whatsoever. But I remember, like, summer camp. I remember by the time summer camp was over, which was, like, mid to late July, that last month, I knew my mom was ready for me to get back to school, without a doubt.
Your kid's favorite day of the year is your parents' least favorite day of the year.
Right. And you're already out of ideas for, where to take them, what to do. Or not only that, it's $100 just to walk out the door nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Wherever you're going, you're dropping $100 for any sort of half-day entertainment or whatever the case may be.
Movies, whatever.
Yeah. So,
Kelly, did you say your mom told you that she hoped you had a daughter one day and she hoped she was just like you?
Isn't that pretty much what every parent says to their kid that's acting up?
Yep, yeah. Without a doubt. I think I shared the story one time when I was 20-ish years old. I forgot to pay a speeding ticket, and I had a suspended license. And I was driving, and I got pulled over, and I actually got arrested. They took me down to the jail for driving on a suspended license. So I had to call my dad to pick me up. And right across the street was like this little donut shop diner thing. And I was coming back from DJing a wedding, so it was like by the time I got paperwork and got my phone, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. He had to come pick me up. And we went to the diner, and we got a cup of coffee, and my dad starts cracking up. I mean, belly laugh, tears rolling down his face. And he looks up and he points, and he goes, "You were right. Can't believe you were right." And I go, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "When I was 19, I got arrested. My father had to come pick me up, and he took me to a coffee shop. And he goes, I can't wait for you to have a son, so you have to go pick him up from jail just like I did for you."
And it happened.
And it happened, absolutely. So, yeah, I think everyone has had the... You need to have a child so you can get what I got.
Right.
For sure.
Joke's on you. I didn't have kids.
Done. So hopefully they're not driving you too crazy at home. But I know I feel I feel your pain. There have been a moment or two where I'm like, is school starting yet? Because I'm ready for it to be back.
Yeah, you got a while.
Yeah, a little bit of time. 99.7 The Blitz.
And now, all right, I'm listening. The 3 things you need to know before you go.
Officers with the Columbus Division of Police are monitoring safety as residents pack into the city's pools during the heat wave this week. Columbus Recreation and Parks Department hires special duty officers and private security to help prevent and respond to fights and other incidents. Boy, we get a little crabby when it's hot out, don't we?
It does happen.
Because of high temperatures, CODA is continuing to offer free service on all of its buses through tomorrow. CODA says it wants to make sure residents have free access to cooling centers, libraries, and rec centers during the heat wave. Well, the man who was removed from Tuesday's Diamondbacks versus White Sox game in Chicago has now been indefinitely banned from every single Major League Baseball ballpark. Here's what happened. Diamondbacks second baseman Ketel Marte was at bat in the 7th inning. They were doing a pitching change when a 22-year-old fan shouted a derogatory comment from the stands about Marte's mom, who died in a car accident in 2017. Instantly, Marte put his head down and started bawling. Like, he started crying. His manager came up. His teammates came up to console him. This guy could not stop crying. In fact, he continued to cry throughout the rest of the inning. The Diamondbacks then said, "We get that guy out of here. We want him ejected." They did eject him, and now he is banned from every ballpark.
Good.
Indefinitely.
Good.
This guy is you can tell he's like this, when you look at him, you're like, yeah, that adds up. That guy looks like a real jerk. Just a young, mouthy piece of crap.
I'm glad. And I hope it's a permanent ban.
Well, and TikTok, of course, identified him within 2 seconds. So I know this guy's going to have some trouble in his life.
Yeah,
now.
he's going to
have trouble in his job. He's going to have trouble with friends. He's going to have trouble on the streets now because that's the age of TikTok. Everybody knows who you are now. Well, a Jersey Shore lifeguard survived being impaled by a 6-foot beach umbrella yesterday at Asbury Park Beach. The 6-foot umbrella pole entered through her left armpit, and the armpit. So it went in through her left armpit and exited out her back. First responders had to cut the pole on both sides. It was about 1 inch in diameter. They had to cut it so that they could fit her into an ambulance and get her to the hospital so it could be fully removed. She was alert and conscious the whole time. She was obviously taken to the hospital, and it's not clear how she is right now, but she did live through it. And there are varying reports of how this happened. Some reports say that she was knocked off her lifeguard stand and onto the pole. Others say that she was hit by a flying umbrella that became airborne in the wind. And then just...
that is some Final Destination type stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
that thing came flying at you and just
right through your body.
One of the medical shows did that. It was like a train accident, and 2 people got impaled by the same pole, and they brought him into the hospital, and they were sitting on the gurney. Which Grey's Anatomy or ER, one of them did that.
Dang.
And then only one person was going to survive because they had to take
it depended what side they were going to yank the thing out
and
from.
Only one of them, so they're sitting there talking to each other.
That's brutal.
That is so bad.
That's like a Sophie's Choice thing. Who's going to live, who's going to die. Ooh. Yep. All right, those are your 3 things.
It's almost like a news cycle. You hear a story and you're like, oh, that's an unbelievable, crazy story. How that's never going to happen again. And then not even 2 days later, something even crazier happens. And that's kind of this situation, because yesterday we told you about the Mets, the New York Mets, and their pitcher, who was given the greatest name ever, Dickie Lovelady. I mean, come on. You hear it and you just know instantly any man will never have we're all fighting for second place for the greatest name ever, because Dickie Lovelady automatically wins. And it only took 24 hours before we might have a contender to actually take down Dickie Lovelady. We go up to Silver Creek, Minnesota, where authorities arrested a man who was believed to be under the influence of hallucinogenic mushrooms while driving, which caused a crash and injured a construction worker on Highway 61. He's being charged with several felonies. Here is Northern News Now from Minnesota reporting the news.
Let's dive into those new details in the Highway 61 crash that left 2 construction workers injured, including one in critical condition. You'll remember last Thursday afternoon, a van crashed into a scissor lift in a construction zone at the Lafayette Tunnel north of Two Harbors, Minnesota. Authorities now believe that driver, 34-year-old Patches Magic Beans from the Milwaukee area, was under the influence of psychedelic mushrooms at the time of that crash.
Patches Magic Beans?
Magic Beans.
Was he in The Adventures of Teddy Ruxpin?
Something. Patches Magic Beans, 34-year-old from Heartland, Wisconsin. And Thick proposed a very interesting question. did this man go into the Secretary of State or the DMV or wherever and legally change his name to Patrick Magic Beans?
Patches
Magic Beans. Or did he grow up his entire life with the name Patches Magic Beans?
I would be on shrooms, too.
Yeah, if your parents name you Patches Magic Beans.
That did not happen. There's no way I would bet a limb that this guy changed his name to Patches Magic Beans because it's a pretty cool name. I like it. I like it.
Really?
I'm into it.
I
and
would
especially
never want
if I'm
that name.
on mushrooms.
Right.
I really like it.
Oh, yeah, if you're on mushrooms, you're loving it for
Yeah.
sure. For sure. Would you date a gentleman named Patches Magic Beans?
I don't think that we would be compatible. But I'm just saying I get, I need somebody who's in full possession of their brain. Like,
Okay.
you've got to have your mind together.
You need all the facilities there.
Yeah, it doesn't interest me to have a conversation with somebody who's on mushrooms. That's not fun for me.
Okay.
But the fact that you're on mushrooms and you changed your name to Patrick Magic Beans, I'll have a conversation with you and I'll probably really enjoy myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to have a little sit down with Patches Magic Beans. I want to know the story.
Yeah.
What's going on back there? I want to pull the curtain back a little bit. Let me in.
It'd be an entertaining evening to hang out, but that's the end of it for me. Like, then I'm moving on.
But I also think I might want to hear his life story. I want him to sober up and tell me his life story, but I want to take the mushrooms and hear his life story while on mushrooms.
And then they'll go, I get it now.
Yeah, man.
Patches Magic Beans. Got it.
Oh, for sure. Like, I have a feeling like if I sat down with Patches Magic Beans while on shrooms, listening to his life story, 2 seconds later, I'm on my way to the Secretary of State to be like, I wanted to be Tube Sock Magic Beans. For sure.
Tube Sock.
Yeah. I have a feeling I would instantly go change my name. Without a doubt. Anyways, congratulations, Patches Magic Beans. You have now entered the fight for best name ever. 99.7 The Blitz. Welcome to your Thursday. It's going to be another hot one. High of about 92 today. Could see another afternoon storm possible as well. If you're not having the best start to your day, I am so sorry. Or maybe the week just isn't going the way you hoped it would. Well, let's see if we can make you feel a little bit better, because there's a great website I like to visit sometimes when I'm not feeling my best and things aren't going my way, because it's called F My Life, and people jump online and they share terrible things that are going on in their lives so you can feel a little bit better about yours. Like this person. Today, I had to decline the sale of alcohol to a man who reeked of booze and was practically falling asleep at my till. He tried to convince me that he wasn't drunk, he was just blind. Still refusing to sell him the beer, he started yelling at me, accusing me of being racist against the blinds. You're not allowed to be racist against the blinds.
What race is that? The blind race, I guess.
Yeah, that's customer service, man. Some people. This person said, today I joined a Zoom meeting and spent 10 minutes talking about my car issues to a group of strangers who were definitely not my usual team. I then realized I was in a webinar for bird enthusiasts who were too polite to interrupt me talking about my transmission troubles.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was good. Today I was prepping dinner for my in-laws for the first time. Nervously, I accidentally spilled the pasta into the sink. With nothing else to prepare, I quickly scooped it all back into the bowl. No one would have been any the wiser if the kitchen sponge hadn't shown up in the middle of dinner.
No. Well, how did that get in there?
I guess if it dumps it, you just scoop the whole thing in and it sits at the bottom of the bowl. Today, my mom explained to me that looking up gay porn on the internet is bad. I didn't look up gay porn. The only other person who uses the laptop in the house is my dad. I couldn't tell her the truth and had to pretend I like gay fan fiction. Do you throw your dad under the bus on that one, or do you just take it on the chin for dear old dad?
But then do you go and ask dad why?
That's another good question. This person said, today I smiled at a new kid and started a conversation with him just to be nice. He later sent me 24 messages describing how strong his love is for me. I'm scared to go to school tomorrow. We got a stage 5 clinger.
Uh-oh.
Today, I met my boyfriend's mom for the first time. I introduced myself and went to shake her hand. She looked me up and down and said, I don't shake hands with whores.
What?
Man.
Dang.
I have a feeling you can't take that personally. That mom's going to say that to any woman her son brings home.
I guess.
She's just that type. And finally, this person says, today a woman came up to me and sheepishly asked if my son is single. He's not my son. He's my boyfriend.
Oh, ouch.
Oh, that is a tough one. Oh, F my life. It's 99.7 The Blitz. Hey, if you're looking for something to do on Saturday, Night of Thunder is going down at National Trail Raceway. Fire-breathing jet funny cars, dragsters, Scott Rods, gassers, wheel-standing PT cruisers, Dragons Fire jet truck, and a whole bunch more. Spectator gates open at 3. Night show starts at 7. You want to go? We want to send you. If you're looking for something to do, maybe take the kid out, see some funny cars, hear the engines roar, then give us a call, 800-821-9970. We are going to play the feud. So, we need a team of 3. And it's very simple. We've got the top answers on the board. You get all the answers before you get 3 X's. Everybody wins tickets for Night of Thunder this Saturday. 800-821-9970. 3 contestants right now to team up. Let's see who we got. Blitz, good morning. Hi, who's this?
This is Sean.
Sean? Hello, Sean. How are you? You hang on 1 second. We're going to find you some teammates here to play the feud. Blitz, good morning. Hi, who's this? Robbie. All right, Robbie, you hang on. We're going to find your final teammate. Blitz, good morning. Hi, who's this?
Hey, this is
Jesse. All right, Sean, Robbie, Jesse. We're playing the feud. It's very simple. I'll give you the question, and then one by one, I'll take your guesses. You get all the correct answers before you get 3 X's. Everybody wins. Here we go. Sean, Robbie, Jesse. If a wedding took place in a deli, what might the guests throw instead of rice? You're in a deli at a wedding. What might the guest throw? Sean, we're going to start with you. What do you say?
Ham.
Ham?
Yeah.
Show me ham.
Woo! Hey, good answer.
Number 2 on the board.
Got it. Ham. Number 2.
Number 2. Robbie, on to you. If a wedding took place in a deli, what might guests throw instead of rice? The top 5 answers are on the board. What do you got?
Pastrami.
Pastrami. You know what?
It.
I'm going to let you answer again because number 2 is meat/ham. Like they categorized all the meat together.
Okay, so meat's taken.
Meat's taken. So give me another guess.
From a deli, I'm going to say bread.
Man, that's a good answer.
Good answer.
Show me bread. Yes. Number 1 answer on the board. Bread and bagels was the number 1 answer. All right, Jesse, on to you. 3 more answers to go. What do you got? If a wedding took place in a deli, what might guests throw instead of the rice?
It would be vegetables.
Vegetables. That's a good answer. Show me vegetables. Yes. Number 5 on the board. Lettuce/vegetables is number 5 on the board. All right. Back up to Sean. We've got 3 right answers. No X's yet, which is great. If a wedding took place in a deli, what might the guests throw instead of rice? What you got, Sean?
Pepperoni.
Pepperoni. All right, let's see. Good answer. Woo! Show me pepperoni. Pepperoni not on the list. That's actually, I should have let you answer again because that fell under the meat/ham.
Oh, okay.
So, but I'm sorry. I already gave a free break to someone, so you don't get a free break, Sean. Robbie, on to you. Robbie, if a wedding took place in a deli, what might the guests throw instead of rice?
Some form of condiments.
Some form of condiments.
Oh.
Show me condiments. No. That is 2 X's. Jesse, back to you. What you got?
Drinks, maybe?
Drinks. Show me drinks.
Yeah.
I am sorry, Sean, Robbie, Jesse. Got to let you go. Number 3 on the board. Do you have a guess?
I thought pickles.
Pickles not on the list.
Boo.
No.
Cheese?
Cheese.
No.
Yes, cheese
Yes?
is number 3. Yep.
Yeah, it's a deli.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you have cheese?
Absolutely. And
Show me Knish.
And then number 4 was pasta.
Yeah.
Pasta in
Yeah.
a deli?
I mean, I wouldn't get pasta at a deli, but I know they have it. You want to
They
try
do?
one? Want to try one more time?
Sure.
How about
All right.
pickle barrels?
800-821-9970. If you would like to play, try and win yourself Night of Thunder tickets, give us a call. We'll need another team of 3, and we'll play again in 3.5 minutes. 99.7 The Blitz. Before we get started, real quick, Chris texted in and said, can I get a shout out to my son and daughter, Christopher and Peyton Jones? Hello, Christopher and Peyton. They turned 2 today. They listen to the Blitz every morning.
Oh, see, we are big amongst the elementary school and preschool, it seems.
2.
Preschool.
Yeah.
We call them blitzies.
Blitzies.
The little blitzies.
Chris says, I'm not raising no Swifties. So,
That's right.
good for you.
Blitzies much better.
We share a lot in common. I poop my pants too, so there you go. Christopher and Peyton, thank you for listening. All right, time to play the feud. For tickets for Night of Thunder this Saturday at National Trail Raceway with the fire-breathing, jet-funny cars, the dragsters, the wheel-standing PT Cruisers. And Kelly, I was going to let you off the hook, but we have now received a second text message, so I cannot. Because initially, I was going to have you do a game where you use your monster truck voice, your Sunday. And then I decided not to, and we decided to play the feud. But now we've had a couple people asking for your monster truck voice. So now every time we get an answer, instead of me saying "show me," you have to do it in the monster truck voice.
It's going to sound like Chewbacca, but
That's
okay.
great. I think that's absolutely perfect.
All right.
Our new team: Steven, Lars, and Tasha. Hello, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, here we go. We're playing the feud. I'll give you the category, and then one by one, we'll go through to get your answers. Top 5 answers on the board. Hopefully you get all 5 before you get 3 X's. Here we go. When you enter a bathroom, what color do you really hope not to see in the toilet bowl? Steven, we're going to start with you. What color do you not want to see?
I guess brown.
Brown is, give me the monster truck.
Show me brown. I'm a one-trick pony. It's all going to sound like that. So we may just want to cut it off here.
Where's the gravel in the
have
voice?
it.
Show me brown. That is the number one answer,
Let
brown.
Vic do it.
No, it's much funnier when you do it.
Brown. All right, Lars, on to you. Lars, what do you got? What color do you hope not to see in the toilet bowl?
I'm going to say yellow.
Show me yellow.
There it is. Yes. Number 2 answer on the board. All right, we need you for the rest of the show, so we're not going to have you do that again before you blow out your larynx. All right, Tasha, on to you. When entering a bathroom, what color do you really hope not to see in the toilet bowl?
Red.
Oh,
Yes,
red
good
would be
one.
so bad. Show me red. Yes.
Got it.
Number 3 on the board. We have got the top 3 answers so far. No X's. Steven, back to you. What color do you not want to see in the toilet bowl?
Oh, man. I'm going to say, I guess green.
Green, man. Yeah, that's a messy poo.
Good answer.
Good answer.
Oh.
Show me green. Yes.
Yeah, green, you need a doctor visit.
Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely. That's diverticulitis right there for sure. All right, top 4 answers. You got the top 4. We're only looking for that 5th answer. And we're on to you, Lars. When entering a bathroom, what color do you really hope not to see in the toilet bowl for tickets for Night of Thunder for all 3 of you? What do you think?
Man, I'm just going to throw something out. Orange.
Orange. Yeah, that'd be a little
Okay,
weird.
all right.
Show me orange.
That's all right.
Have you ever drank too much Tang before? It'll scare the crap out of you.
Oh.
Yeah, it's scary when that happens. You're like, when did I become a mutant? Something's wrong.
That's a lot of Tang.
It's so much yeah. All right, Lars, incorrect answer. Tasha, on to you. We only have 1 X, but we need one more answer. Tasha, what do you got when entering a bathroom? What color do you really hope not to see in the toilet bowl?
Blue.
Blue. Yeah, that would be
That's a weird one.
awkward. Show me blue.
Is that like too many Arctic freezes or whatever?
I was
Arctic
gonna say who let Smurf poop in the bathroom.
Right.
That's what I'd be thinking. All right, 2 X's. We need one more answer. Steven, it's all on you. Either you all win tickets or the game is over.
Oh.
When entering a bathroom, what color do you really hope not to see in a toilet bowl?
God. I guess black.
Black.
Oh,
That would be.
I like that one. Oh my gosh,
That
I like
would be
it.
so bad if it's black. Oh, you're dying of dysentery if it's black.
Right?
For sure. Show me black. There we go. All 5 answers revealed. Steven, Lars, Tasha, you're all getting tickets for Night of Thunder. Congratulations. You guys hang on one second. We got to get some info from you. You're going to be there this Saturday at the National Trail Raceway. If you want to get tickets available now. And kids 6 and under are free if you want to take them. So enjoy the show. I had a weird thought falling asleep last night. So I actually came in this morning and I had a homework assignment for all of us that, well, actually it's more like an in-class assignment because we all just did it here this morning. And I don't know why I started thinking about it, but I started thinking about the house I grew up in. And I was like, I could remember the layout of the house. There's only one detail I can't remember. And that is sitting in the living room. To the right was the dining room, and then the kitchen was right there. It was a 750, 800 square foot house, 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom ranch. That was it.
One floor. No basement?
No basement. Walked into the living room. The dining room was right there. The kitchen was right there. A short hallway with a bedroom to the left, 2 bedrooms at the end of the hallway, and the bathroom to the right. And that was the entire house. But
all you need.
The only thing I can't remember is sitting in the living room. If you could see the kitchen, or I'm pretty sure there was a wall. So there was like a doorway into the kitchen. But that's the one detail I can't remember. So I wanted to know, could you draw the plans, the layout of your childhood home? So I came in, and we all did it. So we're going to post pictures. We all drew on a piece of paper. We're going to post the pictures on our Facebook page of the layout of our home. I don't care if you're at work today and you're bored for 5 minutes, see if you can draw the layout of the house you grew up in as a kid.
Yeah. Then we're going to post it on Facebook. Take a picture of yours and post it in the comments.
Yeah, I'd love to see the layout, because yours is a little more. Both of you had the split level, so you had to draw different boxes on your piece of paper.
Thick and I have known each other for years and just found out we basically grew up in the same house.
Same
layout. Same style.
Layout.
Yeah.
Yep. I even put down where the chandelier was.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I put down where my very cool stereo console was.
Oh, I know.
Oh, buddy.
Did you have the one in the glass case with the...
It wasn't glass. It was like a piece of wood furniture, and you open the top to reveal the turntable and the AM/FM stereo. Oh, 2 giant speakers built in.
Nice. Okay.
Buddy.
Yeah. So we're going to post pictures of our childhood homes, and like I said, if you get a chance, check them out on Facebook, and then draw yours and leave a comment and take a picture. We'd love to see it. 99.7 The Blitz.
And now, all right, I'm listening. The 3 things you need to know before you go.
This is an utterly wild story. A woman riding on the back of a motorcycle west of Dayton, minding her own business. She and her friend on this motorcycle. She is dead now after a man on the side of the road hit her in the leg with a machete as she passed by.
What?
Yes. This is so crazy. Deputies say the victim, her name's Leah Huff. She's 41 years old. She was riding on the back of a motorcycle with a man. She passed by 59-year-old Kenneth Brabant, who was standing at the end of his driveway. Authorities say Brabant started swinging a machete at them, hit Huff in the leg. She was so badly injured that she died before EMS arrived.
Oh.
That's how much she was bleeding.
My God.
Investigators say that right before this incident, the guy who swung the machete, his daughter had called authorities from inside his home, saying that her ex-boyfriend was driving up and down the road on a motorcycle trying to get her to come outside. She called 911. Well, authorities say that may be the case, but this poor woman and the guy she was on the motorcycle with, they had nothing to do with that. No connection to this family whatsoever.
So the dad was trying to protect the daughter, apparently, but then attacked the wrong person,
Right.
and the stranger ends up dying from a machete cut to the leg.
Exactly.
Oh!
Wow.
So he's arrested, jailed, I think $1 million bond, and charged with murder. I mean, it's crazy.
Can't go swinging machetes at people.
No. Closing arguments in the Sean Diddy Combs trial begin this morning at 10 a.m. We were talking about the Karen Reed trial, how they allowed the prosecution and the defense to go for an hour 15 with closing arguments.
Yeah.
We're like, man, that's a lot of stuff to say. The prosecution gets 4 hours to present their case in closing arguments.
Wait, they didn't bring up any witnesses. What are they going to talk about?
This is the prosecution.
Oh, okay.
So they'll start at 10 a.m. They're going to go 2 hours, break for lunch, and then come back for the final 2 hours today.
God.
Then tomorrow, the defense presents its side. And they say, to your point, they'll need about 3 hours. For what? For what? You presented 0 witnesses and read a couple of text messages. That was their whole defense. So I can't imagine they're going to go 3 hours. Otherwise, I feel like, what are we doing here? When your closing argument is 6 times the length of your actual defense.
Right.
Unless they're just going to attack everything the prosecution says today.
I don't know, I guess. Yeah, so the jury's expected to get the case either tomorrow or Monday. So we'll see what happens.
I couldn't be on that jury. There's no way.
Can you imagine?
There's no way. I would just be glossed over.
Yeah.
Yep.
You would absolutely hear a...
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Yeah.
Bumble is laying off 30% of its workforce in a move to restructure and cut costs. Bumble's stock has collapsed since going public 4 years ago, at one point losing about 90% of its value.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently,
Wow.
younger users, Gen X adults, are not using online dating sites. At least a significant portion of them are not using them. Both Match and Tinder are also struggling. They've unloaded hundreds of employees. Tinder had to bring in a new feature where you can double date with a friend, so you don't have to go out with a stranger by yourself.
Right.
We were hoping that would gain. Bumble has decided they're going to integrate AI, probably to replace the people they're firing, but they say to help make better matches. So that's supposed to be enticing to people, I guess. I don't know. One dating company is having much success to the tune of 115% growth over the past year, and that is Grindr.
Really?
It's one of the only dating apps that's really doing well.
That's like the gay Tinder?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. I mean, I will happily shake the Bumble's CEO hand. Bumble's CEO's hand as they introduced me to Nora. That's how Nora and I met on Bumble.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, on Bumble.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so.
Do you remember back in the day when they did the what was the name of that? Where you had to go into the company
and do a video
on VHS, and then they would send copies of your VHS. You could go in and view other people's VHS tapes.
Man,
wasn't it?
Yeah,
what was it? Matchmakers?
Matchmakers. Yeah, there was. Man, there's some. You jump on YouTube, you can go down a rabbit hole of some really great old dating VHS tapes.
Oh, it's so wild.
Oh, some of these people.
There was Matchmaker.com.
Man.
There was Great Expectations.
Great Expectations. That's what I'm thinking
That
of.
was the one. That was the big one.
Yeah, now people, I guess, according to the Gen Xers of dating age, adults say that they meet people the old-fashioned way. They go out and meet people
I can totally
face to
see
face.
that it had the dating websites had reached the peak. They a couple years ago.
Yeah.
They topped out. You got at some point you got to start the downswing. And not to mention you've already made so many matches. Like there's only so many single people out there.
Right, in your
so
area.
So at some point you're going to cap. And that's it.
Oh, that guy's still on here? Okay.
Right.
Okay. All right, those are your 3 things.
All right, I know this is kind of like Debbie Downer-ish and summer bah humbug-ish, but I have a feeling I'm not the only one as we creep up and get ready for the holiday, which is, a week from tomorrow, right?
Yep.
July 4th, July 4th is a Friday, yep. And we're right in the midst of the season. And I absolutely despise fireworks and parades. That's just the biggest waste of time.
Wow.
You got to get there, and you're there like 2 hours early to save your spot.
At the parade,
yeah, or the fire wherever you're going to see the fireworks.
Oh, hold on,
and then here's the other thing: if you've seen one fireworks display or one parade, you've basically seen them all. That's, I
just have to tell you. So we used to live in Upper Arlington, and the 4th of July parade in Upper Arlington is insane, dude. People are putting out their chairs with ropes, tying chairs together.
Yeah.
A week in advance, not 2 hours, a week. I mean, you probably go over there now and see chairs.
You probably see it on Reddit, the Columbus sub. They always make fun of the Upper Arlington parade seat
it's crazy.
savers.
You go driving up Northwest Boulevard today, I guarantee there are chairs there.
There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way. And then not only do you have to get there a couple hours early and save your spot and sit there and just watch things drive by at 2 miles an hour waving, but then you got to fight the traffic getting out of there.
Yeah. We were fortunately in walking distance from our home.
Oh, right.
That was
And then you know, starting this weekend, you're going to hear fireworks popping off. Your dogs are going to get aggravated. You're going to try and sleep. And it's going to happen all next week. It's going to happen for sure all next weekend. I mean, you have Friday, 4th of July. It's going down all weekend long. All right,
well, let's see. We get
moment.
Red, White, and Boom, and some of the, I know
That's
Johnstown is the 3rd as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then we've got, Dublin, Western, all those are the 4th.
Yeah.
So the other thing in Upper Arlington, you talk about sleeping, when the parade, that morning, early morning, they've got the marching band going up and down the streets in Upper Arlington, making sure everybody's getting their ass out of bed.
They're waking them up?
Yes.
That's insane.
Right?
I'm allergic to fireworks and parades. That's what happens, even talking about it.
Is find somebody in an area where they're allowed to light fireworks, or even that they aren't allowed to light fireworks. Go in and buy your own fireworks and have your own fireworks display. It is really fun when you just do your own thing. You don't have to fight the crowds. You invite who you want. We've got multiple people in my neighborhood who light their own fireworks. You can see fireworks everywhere.
Do they have... Do you have the good fireworks in Ohio?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, you can get commercial grade
fireworks.
fireworks.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes. They'll cost you.
In Michigan, you can't.
Oh, they'll cost you.
No, for sure.
Can.
Oh, yeah.
And now
the ones with the tubes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But you used to be able to buy them, but you had to sign a form that you were not going to let them off in the state. But now they're legal.
Oh,
yeah, and you can buy something, these called the grand finale.
Oh,
they're
wild. You can't even believe that you're allowed to have it in your own backyard.
Yeah.
It's like a $500 package.
Yeah. 1892 text in fireworks in my neighborhood started last weekend. Nah, see, too much. Alex texts in, I work in Upper Arlington, and there are most definitely already chairs tied up.
Yeah, I believe it.
Unbelievable.
People want a good seat.
You
man.
won't catch me there. I'll not waste my time.
Just the noise, it's the crowd, the heat, all of that.
Yeah, it's the crowd and it's just, again, I've seen this a million times.
Did you like fireworks as a kid? And then you're just like, I just don't even need to ever see another firework.
I don't think so.
No?
No. I've always found them boring and dumb.
What about the boys?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Oh, you better find out, Dad.
Yeah.
You better find out.
You can be there by the hill in Hilliard.
I guess I'm at the level where I hate them enough that I don't even care to ask them.
See, that's who it's for at this point. It's for the kids.
But they're also teens, so go ride your bike.
Well, that's true.
Exactly, yeah. The 16-year-old, he would do what I did at 16 when we used to go to the city fireworks. You walk around talking to girls from the high school.
Oh, yeah, that's what it's for.
Yeah.
All those big day-long parties. Yeah.
Anyways, if you're going, have fun. I'll catch you another time. 99.7 The Blitz.
Scrooge. Not so breaking news. The news already broke. We're trying to put it back together.
All right, so we've got two convenience store robbery stories. However, they are on completely opposite ends of the spectrum. We start in Duncanville, Alabama, where police are on the lookout for the mystery machine. Well, not really, but they are on the lookout for a guy who was wearing a Scooby-Doo costume and made off with cash and coins. Oddly, did not take any Scooby snacks with him. The subject is described as a white male, approximately 5 feet 9 inches tall. The authorities warn that he could get away with it because they're asking for help, possibly from some meddling kids. Here's the deal. The Scooby-Doo outfit didn't have, like, the Scooby-Doo head. It was just the brown dog outfit. So he wore a ski mask instead.
Oh, that's lazy.
Which is, I don't know, it's kind of perfect because when he does get caught, I hope that the police just pull the mask off like they used to do in Scooby-Doo. Just pull it straight up.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. No word on whether or not Fred, Daphne, and Velma have been interviewed or not. We'll have to wait and find out.
We all know Shaggy's getting stoned somewhere, so he's of no help.
Absolutely. He doesn't know a thing.
Scoob's on TV! Oh, no, what you do?
Second story takes us over to Florida. Yes, we got a WTF. What the Florida? And this is actually on the opposite end because a convenience store clerk is facing aggravated battery charges after deputies said he shot a customer at the convenience store in Broward County. And he did so because of the debate over the price of beer. According to the arrest report, when the customer threw an unknown small object at Mr. Monther, it looked like maybe possibly a piece of paper, maybe the receipt. The clerk took a gun out from under the counter and shot the man in the right calf.
Oh, yeah, he was on the edge way before that guy walked in the door.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was fed up. I mean, he was basically like the worst version of Dante from the movie Clerks. I'm not even supposed to be here today. Shot the man right in the calf. So he will be spending some time in jail for aggravated assault. That is your not-so-breaking news, 99.7 The Blitz. So while doom-scrolling before bed the other night, I came across a TikTok video and I instantly had to save it because this is just, I can't imagine doing this or being caught in this situation. I don't know. It's strange because if you have a great relationship with your in-laws, you're pretty lucky because it doesn't always happen. I mean, I know that, unfortunately, Nora and her mom, there's a bit of some stress there. Haven't talked in a while. Her mom would show up at the house and walk in, kind of the boundary stuff that had to be addressed.
Yeah.
And if you've got someone like that in your life, it can be tough. However, was this mother-in-law in the right or in the wrong? Because the video is taken from what looks like an outdoor security camera facing the front door. The mother-in-law is on the porch. The wife is standing there with the front door open. And the mother-in-law goes off on the daughter-in-law. Take a listen to what the mother-in-law had to say and listen closely to what she did.
You have trapped my Sean into having your baby, but not his, because I have got proof here that you have been a scheming little... No, I haven't. Yes, you have. No, you do not. How can you look at me and tell me lies to my face?
I'm not lying.
You're an absolute liar.
I'm not lying.
Yes, you are a liar.
What's with that?
So this is when I had the baby last week and last night. Seem to have him every bloody night, don't I? While you're off gallivanting. So I looked after him, I cleaned his teeth, and then I sent it off for DNA testing.
Do you know how creepy that is? Oh, without my consent.
I don't give a shit. But you'll consent for me to look after him, will you all now?
That's right. The mother took the DNA from the baby and sent it off without the grandmother, without the mother knowing, and found out that the baby is not her son's baby. The wife was cheating and she is going off.
Right, well, you're out about.
No, I haven't.
Yes, you have.
No,
anyway, this came back from the DNA testers, and this says that you are the mother, and is Sean the father? Is he? No, he isn't. Some dirty, skanky been out and somebody else, and then you come back and try to nail my son. Well, he's not falling for it. You can...
I know you've never liked me, but it's going as far as making a face.
You are damn right I've never liked you. Could just look at you. You can barefaced lie to anybody.
Just look at you.
Man, I mean, you're tapping your fingers over there, Kelly. Who's in the right and who's in the wrong?
Well, I mean, I feel like the mom had an intuition. She followed up on it. got a DNA test. You do all that in secret. Don't do that out loud. You do it in secret and then tell your son and then let him do what he wants with it. Don't meddle like at the front door with the daughter-in-law. You've got to just go around. I mean, first of all, you should be staying out of your son's relationship. He is an adult.
Do you think?
But the fact is, she had suspicions. She followed up on it. Maybe she should, maybe she shouldn't have gotten a DNA test. She did it. I don't know why you go confront the woman. You go talk to your son. That's the person you should talk to.
800-821-9970. You can call or text the same number. Do you think she, like, as the son, do you think maybe she was worried the son would get mad? I mean, again, she did the DNA test.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Babysitting the baby.
Leave your adult children alone. Really, let them live their lives. He's going to find out eventually that if she's a skank. I mean, isn't that eventually going to come out?
Probably.
How old's the kid? Like, he's got an established relationship with his child. What you're essentially doing, Mom, is destroying this kid's life. Is it worth it? Is it worth it to be that big of a busybody and that far up your son's butt that you're meddling like this?
Oh, Thick's rubbing his head. What do you say,
I'm just
Thick?
thinking, if it's not his kid, and you want him to go through life thinking it's his kid?
I mean, would the truth ever come out?
Yeah, what's the harm?
What's
Honestly,
the harm?
What's the harm in this guy and this child who has an established relationship with your son as his father? Why are you trying to destroy that? Now, I'm not saying that you can't do it. I don't understand the confrontation on the front porch.
Okay, I agree with you
I
there.
don't get that.
I agree. The mom should have just went to her son and said, "Look, this is what I found out."
A little bit of
You needed to
helicopter
know.
parenting, jumping in and arguing with the daughter-in-law.
It's just because I'm putting myself in the situation of if I found out that the spouse of one of my kids,
right,
was doing somebody else. Am I just not going to say anything? I don't think there's any possible way I could keep my mouth shut.
800-821-9970. You can call and text the same number now. Blitz, good morning. Hi, who's this?
Hey, this is Ron. I just want to say, the mom did the right job. Obviously, the son can't figure out that his girlfriend, wife, whatever, is cheating on him. She took it by the horns and she dealt with it.
Okay.
That's just my opinion.
Would you tell your son if you found out or knew that his wife was cheating on him?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, you'd tell the son. You wouldn't go onto the porch of the mom and confront her and on a video camera, would you?
Agreed.
I mean, you sit down with your son.
She's been putting his family through stuff for the last, few years and stuff like that. She was sick of it.
Agreed.
She's taking care of a kid that's not hers, and then she finds out,
there's history there. You can tell.
Right. But it almost seems like, thank you for the call, by the way. It almost seems like there was already some pent-up aggression. Like the daughter said, you've never liked me.
Yeah, I know you've never liked me.
At this point in time, that is not the mother-in-law's fight to have. It's the son. Go to your son.
I agree with that.
That to me is, it's just...
But, as a parent, you're always going to do anything to protect your kids.
Yeah.
Emotionally or physically, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's tough. 800-821-9970. It shouldn't be legal to get a child's DNA test unless you're the parent and the parent from Keith. Okay, that's one way of looking at it. That
was a real violation there by the mother-in-law. Any way you look at it. I know that
crazy, yeah.
Yeah, that your feelings are some way, but that's gone pretty far.
Blitz, good morning. Hi, who's this?
Good morning. This is Shayna. How are you guys?
Good, Shayna. Was the mother-in-law in the right or wrong for taking the baby for a DNA test with the gut feeling that the daughter-in-law was cheating and the baby wasn't her son's?
I'm going to say it's obviously definitely a big gray area. I would say that the way the mother handled it was wrong. What I would have done as a mother myself, I would have sat the woman down, gave her the paperwork and said, you have a month to either tell my son or I'm going to. And give her the opportunity to be able to say something.
Give her the opportunity to come clean.
Okay. I like that.
Okay.
And if you don't, it's going to come out anyways.
That's a better way to handle it than fighting on a front porch.
Yeah. I guess I would just be worried as the mom to break to harm the relationship with the son. Maybe your son really loves this woman and, you can see that you're not happy about it. So you don't want to have to be the one to drop the bomb. so you go directly to the daughter-in-law. But yeah, just to catch her on the front porch and call her a hussy right there, that's tough. I appreciate the call. I hope you have a great Thursday.
Yeah, it sounds like the mom went there and she was emotionally riled up when she went.
Already,
she needed to go calm and cool and discuss, and that, probably would have been better.
Now, there's a chance. What about if maybe her son knows that he's with a cheating hussy, and he knows the kid might not be his, but he's made his adult decision to keep the kid as his own.
Okay.
You're really nosing around in something that's really not that your business, I feel like.
Okay.
I'm not saying the woman's right cheating. She's awful. She's a cheater. She's a floozy. And I can see
and a hussy.
I'm trying to, I see that, and I see there being really strong feelings about it. But your issues with your son, honestly, you're not. Your dealings should be with your son. That's what I think.
I don't disagree with that at all. Okay. But I mean, again, and even it is her business because she's the grandparent of this child, or she's not really.
Doug raises a good point. What about the biological father?
I was just going to say that.
Does he not have the right to know that he's got a son out there?
What is there any chance that the DNA test isn't right?
Yes, of course there is.
Okay, so what are you doing, mother-in-law? Like, say, hey, I got this test done. I shouldn't have done it. I'm really butting into something that's not my business, but I'm worried about you. I got a DNA test done. You take it from here, son.
Okay. 5616 says, as a male who has recently been cheated on, W for the mom. I'm to that, too. Who's in the wrong here? Is the wife, the daughter-in-law in the wrong? Is the mother in the wrong for the way she handled it, or for even getting the DNA test in the first place? We'd love for you to call or text 800-821-9970. Call or text the same number now. Get to it in 3 minutes, 99.7 The Blitz.
When I had the baby last week, I looked after him, I cleaned his teeth, and then I sent it off for DNA testing.
Do you know how creepy that is? Oh, without my consent.
I don't give a shit. But you'll consent for me to look after him, will you, all night while you're out about?
Grandma, no, I haven't.
Yes, you have. No, anyway, this came back from the DNA testers, and this says that you are the mother, and is Sean the father? Is he? No, he isn't. Some dirty scanty.
Yep, mother-in-law sent off DNA from her grandchild and found out that her son, the supposed father, is not the father. Kelly says, no way you should approach them on the front porch there.
Talk to your son. Pictures. There's not a man alive who wants their mommy fighting their battles for them as an adult.
You might be right there. Absolutely.
He can take care of his own life. You can share it with him, and then he can move forward.
Okay. 800-821-9970. Call or text the same number. James, good morning. What do you think, man?
Hey, I think that just a little common sense. Rings don't fill holes.
What? Rings don't. Oh,
rings don't fill holes.
Okay, I mean,
that's
one way of looking at it. Just because you're getting married, is that what you mean?
That's what you mean. Rings didn't fill that hole.
Okay, well,
I got you.
Yeah, I appreciate the call. That's definitely one way of looking at it. Thanks, man. KR, good morning.
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing. What do you think, man? Did the mother-in-law do the right thing here?
You know, I've had a situation with my son, I'm pretty sure, too. His kids are not his kids. And I tried to push DNA tests, and it literally destroyed our relationship.
Really?
It's heartbreaking because, you know, I went through the same kind of thing my son did with my ex-wife. And I went 13 years without knowing if one of my kids were mine, and then I finally went ahead and did a DNA test, and luckily it came back it was mine. But his situation, he's caught her cheating on him multiple times, and his two kids don't even look like his first kid. Now, I'm pretty sure, I'm almost positive, 100% positive the first one is his.
Wow.
But the other two definitely are not, and he's had multiple times he's caught her cheating.
Jeez.
And he just, you know, I wished I could. I mean, I wanted to do the DNA test, but I was really torn.
Right.
Because I feel.
Hold on.
I think it's a lose situation no matter what.
Oh, it's a tough one. Once you did the DNA test for the son you were questioning, because it did come back that you were the father, did you even say anything to anyone, or at that point you just leave it alone because there's no point of kind of stirring the pot once you found out the baby was yours?
You know, I just kind of kept it between me and my boys.
Okay.
That's probably. probably one of the hardest things in my life, knowing that I've been raising this child for 13 years. And
right.
It broke my heart. It broke my heart when he said, "Why are you doing this to me, Dad?"
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
it's
that's tough. That is tough. And then after 13 years, if it's not your son, do you walk away?
That's what
after
I mean. It's
13
like
years?
I feel like the mother-in-law is being really selfish right now because there's a young life here that's involved
Yeah,
in
for
this
sure.
whole situation.
Well, I appreciate the call, Kara. I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much. Peanut, good morning. Peanut, what do you think, man?
I think that if the grandma thinks that something's going on, she should confront the son and allow him to take care of it.
All right, you're taking the Kelly route. Just straight up confront the son. Don't approach the don't approach.
Really had to do the DNA test. I mean, today's society, we got all these different relationship groups like polyamorous and
Yeah, someone texted in and said, "What if it was an open relationship?" I mean,
it could have been.
Somebody said, "What if they
maybe the
used a
son
donor?"
can't have kids.
Yeah.
Maybe the son can't have kids, and they found someone else.
Yeah.
Yep. No, total possibility. Thank you so much for the call. Really appreciate it.
Wouldn't the girl have said that to her on the porch? Say,
you would think so.
You
It
can
would
tell him because he understands. He'll know, and he'll
right.
explain it to
That's
you.
what happened,
You
yeah.
know.
And now, all right, I'm listening. 3 things you need to know before you go.
Used to be, back in the day, early internet days, if you needed a job, you went to Monster, right?
Oh,
Monster
yeah.
was the place to
Yes,
go.
absolutely.
So last September, Monster merged with Career Builder. They're trying to sort of shore up their resources and make another go at it, but didn't work. And they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy now. They're selling off assets. The most important part of Monster and Career Builder, the job boards, are what they're most known for.
Yep.
They're going to be sold to a company called JobGet, which focuses on gig and hourly work. But over the years, job seekers have migrated over to Indeed, to Glassdoor, to LinkedIn.
The big one, yeah.
Yeah. But apparently online job recruitment sites are all dealing with a surge in scam job postings. Like, you know what kind of destroyed Craigslist for the most part is destroying the job boards as
Can
well.
I tell you, when I ended up getting the job, offered the job here, and when Nora was looking at working down here before her boss demanded that she stay with the company and work remotely, which worked out perfectly, she was on the job hunt. And it had to be 1 out of every 3 job postings was some sort of scam. It was awful.
Terrible.
I see them all the time. The work 12 hours a week and make $15,000 a month and from home, and it's like I wouldn't even click on that.
Or one of them was like a huge group interview. Like the first interview was like a huge group interview. Or they'd reach out and then they'd ask for information. You're like, wait a second, this isn't how job applications go.
They want you to do a big project.
Yeah,
or something. I don't know.
Well, there are other ones that did good like quizzes and stuff before they would even interview you.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yep. Nestle says it will eliminate artificial colors from its U.S. food and beverages by the middle of 2026. It's the latest big food company making that pledge. Last week, Kraft Heinz and General Mills said they would remove artificial dyes from their U.S. products by 2027. It's too late for us, but maybe we can save our kids from the artificial dyes.
Save the children.
Well, an Alaskan brown bear at the Lake Superior Zoo in northeastern Minnesota has a gleaming new silver-colored canine tooth, and it's a first-of-its-kind procedure for a bear.
They gave him a grill?
Yeah, kind of looks like it. They do have a picture. It's really cool. This 800-pound bear named Tundra was put under sedation this week and fitted with a new crown, the largest dental crown ever created. The hour-long procedure was done by a board-certified veterinary dentist, who also helped do a root canal on this same bear 2 years ago. And the bear re-injured the tooth. So they're like, I think we need to do a crown.
Man.
So this thing's enormous. It's titanium alloy. It's huge. It's one of the big canines in the front. Tundra, 6 years old, and at his full height on his hind legs stands about 8 feet tall.
Wow.
So because this thing is so big, 8 feet tall, 800 pounds, a member of the zoo's trained armed response team had to be present in the room with a gun, just in case the animal woke up during the procedure.
Came out of anesthesia.
While you're
man.
knee deep in a tooth.
And you know when you come out of anesthesia, you're all groggy and things are weird, so that bear wakes up.
Oh, yeah.
Game
Who
over.
are these people? I'm attacking all of them.
One swipe,
That's
guts, you spill out. It's game over.
Well, everything went fine. Tundra is already back to behaving and eating normally, only now he has a very shiny titanium canine. And those are your 3 things. Oops.
3 canines.
Yeah, those are your 3 canines.
Yeah, the bear came out, and all of a sudden, he's just straight up into hip-hop music now.
Yeah.
Now, let's see if we can learn you something. Sit up and pay attention.
Yeah, let's make you a little bit smarter than you were when you woke up today. Did you know that the closest distance between the U.S. and Africa is 3,154 miles? Quoddy Head, Maine to El Bidouza, Morocco. It's about 200 miles less than going from the same spot in Maine to San Diego, California.
Okay.
Why does that seem weird to me that Maine, being so far up there, is the closest to Africa?
Because it's so far over there as well.
Yeah?
It sticks out farthest
How
east.
far does Africa go up?
Well, no, I'm saying Maine is the farthest eastern point of the United States.
But I would think that Florida would be closer. Am I wrong? Is Africa split the equator? I thought Africa was in the southern hemisphere.
It's
not very smart.
It's partially. It is. Looks like like Algeria, Libya, Egypt. Those are above.
Okay.
It looks like Niger and Chad and Sudan are like right about on the equator.
All right.
Yeah. So.
Here's one for you. Samuel L. Jackson was supposed to have a giant afro in Pulp Fiction. But I did know, I read this somewhere, the production assistant who went to get him his wig didn't know the difference between an afro and a jerry curl, so that's why he ended up with the jerry curl.
Oh my gosh.
In Pulp Fiction. At the time of General Custer and his last stand against the Native American tribes in the West, the Brooklyn Bridge was just getting finished in the East. That's crazy to think that those timelines crossed.
Yeah.
Or were at the same time.
Please, Mr. Custer.
The World Series has been a best-of-9 series 4 times instead of the traditional best-of-7. In 1903, 1919, 1920, and 1921, the goal was to just generate more revenue. They just wanted more games to sell more tickets and sell more concessions.
That doesn't surprise me.
Not at all. And finally, I did know this fun fact as well. After his tumultuous relationship with what was his name? The Colonel Parker? Colonel Tom Parker, that's what they called him?
Oh, from Sun Records?
Yeah,
Elvis and all. Yeah.
Elvis' manager. Elvis only held 3 concerts outside of the U.S. his entire career. They were all in Canada in 1957. But after being locked into contract in Vegas and all that kind of stuff, and Colonel Tom Parker keeping him from traveling overseas, still one of the biggest stars in the world.
Yeah, so there was a TV show called Sun Records, and Mike from Mike and Molly, what's his name?
I know, James something. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he played Colonel Tom Parker. And, it was the whole story of him signing Elvis and all the other big names.
Yeah, there were a lot of huge names
in
for
Sun
sure.
Records. I mean, and it was 8 episodes, 1 season. I couldn't wait for the second season. I was so into this show, and then they canceled it.
I'll have to check it out. I haven't seen it before.
Infuriating.
Look it up. All right, there you go. Learning some stuff on a Thursday morning. 99.7 The Blitz.
Having a life scholarship and being able to afford to go to college made me feel inspired to go.
When I got a life scholarship, it was such a relief.
I knew that I wanted to have an impact. Having a life scholarship through the SC Education Lottery was huge. It gave me the opportunity to make that impact right here at home.
The South Carolina Education Lottery. A better you, a better us, a better South Carolina. Visit sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.